Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Orange County Department of Education College and Career Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us. We have some fantastic schools here with us today to share more information about their schools with you. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be your facilitator this evening. Before we get started, I do have a few housekeeping items for you. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. There's also a Q&A button that you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do also have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. This is also one of many sessions happening. There's an additional day tomorrow, so go back out to the schedule and see what else might be available. And lastly, the session is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/COSI. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first school, which is University of Northern Colorado.
Perfect. All right, let's get this started. I will get this pulled up. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being here. My name is Dean Klinkerman. I am an admissions counselor here at the University of Northern Colorado. We're in Greeley, Colorado, which is about an hour north of Denver. So yeah, we'll give you some information. Then if you have any questions afterwards, you'll see my contact info. So just a little bit about the University of Northern Colorado. We are Colorado's most affordable research institution. So as a Carnegie I research institution, we do the same quality and quantity of research as any other university in the United States. We have about 10,000 undergraduate students, more than 100 undergraduate programs. Our average class size is 27. Our student to faculty ratio is 17. So it just means that ultimately, even if you're sitting in the back of the class, you're still kind of sitting in the front. Really great place to do a handful of different academic opportunities, which we'll talk about in just a second. UNC, as we were talking about, is in Greeley. Greeley is a town of about 100,000. So in my opinion, 100,000 is a really great opportunity to be in a city and go to school there, just because you have all the amenities you'd want of a large city. You have all the restaurants, all the stores, all the life that you'd want, but you don't have like the chaos and the traffic and the hustle and bustle of being truly in a large city. So like you'll see here, you're within 90 minutes of Rocky Mountain National Park. You have access to ski resorts. You're a little over an hour away from Red Rocks Amphitheater. You're about an hour north of Denver International Airport. Yeah, I think that Greeley is a really great place. One of my favorite things about Greeley is the UNC Greeley Jazz Festival. So one of the largest events of its kind that happens in the United States happens in Greeley every April. So if you like jazz music, great opportunity for you to be a part of that and be a part of the community. If you think that it's a little bit more like elevator music, come do that for the weekend. And I think that you'll get a little bit better appreciation for what you might consider elevator music. As far as hands-on education, we just want to make sure that when you're at UNC, you have that hands-on education and that you have something to show for afterwards. So the majority of our students, somewhere in the 65% of our student range, will do some sort of hands-on education, whether that is student teaching, whether that's time in a hospital, if it's an internship, a co-op, something to make sure that you're learning in the classroom, that you can use that before you go into the professional field. You can see our top 10 programs here. What I like to consider UNC and what we do especially well, we have really 4 cornerstones. The first one is education. So we were founded as a state normal school, which is a really fancy way to say that we were the school founded in the state of Colorado to teach future educators. So it's really our foundation. The second thing that we do really well is anything within public health. Our nursing program is top 10% in the nation, but we also have a lot of students that will go down the pre-dental, pre-med, pre-PT route. The third thing is anything College of Business, Montfort College of Business. If you're a Rockies fan, you'll know that last name. If you're not a Rockies fan or you have issues with our pitching rotation, different conversation. And then our fourth thing is anything within either performing and visual arts or liberal arts is really what our 4 cornerstones are. It's housing and dining. So you'll see that we have 17 residence halls on campus. We have 3 residential neighborhoods, so just 3 kind of big clusters on campus of those dorms. And we have 4 tiers of living. So think about tier 4 as more apartment style living. So you're going to have more living styles. That's going to be you'll have your own room. You'll have some roommates that will have their own rooms. And then you'll also share a living space, a kitchen, and a bathroom as well. With those roommates. And then we have a couple other options, more suite style, a little bit more apartment style, but you're going to be sharing a room with somebody else. And then more traditional, like college living. So you, one other person, one big room, you will probably have a sink in your room, but it just kind of depends. And then you'll share a bathroom with the whole hall. So 20 or 25 other people. We have 3 main dining locations on campus, but we have a little bit more than that with coffee shops, Einstein Bagels. We have a sushi place that opened up in the last couple of weeks as well. Our main dining location right in the center of campus is actually getting renovated right now. So that will be open this coming fall. So just in time for everybody here. One of my biggest pieces of advice I could give anybody is don't put too much stock into where you live on campus. You have 4 tiers of living. Everybody's going to want that apartment style living, but it also has a little bit of a different price point. So I lived in that tier 1 living for 2 years and had a really awful experience and had a really great experience those 2 years. And it's not about having the bathroom. It's not about having the living space. It's about the community and the people that you're around that really make your college career. So maybe not a UNC tip, but a Dean tip. So WUE at UNC applies to all programs. You do not need to apply for it. It is automatically offered to all WUE state residents. You can save more than $5,000 a year. You can apply through the Common App or through our own admissions application online. We call it the Bear app, but you can apply either way, and we will be a part of that automatically. So WUE residents, you can see what our tuition is there. We have specific merit-based scholarships purely based off of your high school GPA. So that's money that you can expect in your pocket purely just based off of your high school GPA for 4 years, as long as you keep above a 2.0. So yes, we have the merit-based scholarship, which is what you see here. We also have the UNC scholarship application so that you can fill out all 400 plus of those scholarships just to make sure that you can make that college journey a little bit more affordable. So again, how you will apply, you will submit an application, whether it's through the Bear app or through the Common App. There's a $50 application fee. We also do waivers. You can just reach out to us. We will need your high school transcripts. We are test optional, so we do not need your ACT or SAT scores, but we would like to see an optional letter of recommendation and or an optional personal essay. So that is what I have. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can see my contact information there. But in the meantime, I will stop sharing and hand it off.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Up next, we have Weber State University.
Perfect. Let me start sharing. All right, so my name is Maria Huerta. I'm an admissions counselor at Weber State. I graduated from Weber State in 2016. I have a bachelor's in psychology and a bachelor's in French, and I loved my time at Weber. So I'll start off just kind of telling you where we're at. So we're in Ogden, Utah. This is 40 minutes north of Salt Lake City. We also kind of like to pinpoint the different big cities that surround us, just to give you a general idea of where we're at. But Weber State is in a really good centralized area where you have your outdoors. We have a ton of trails that are on our backyard. So you can go hiking before class, come back and make it on time. And then we also have downtown Ogden. So we have just about anything that you can think of in downtown Ogden. We have a ton of events year round. We have a farmer's market during the summer and a Christmas village just during the holidays, and a ton of other things going on. Our student life is amazing. We have over 200 clubs, anything ranging from Latinos in Action. We have French Club. We have Psych High Club for our psych majors, and a ton of other things. And then our outdoor program, they do organize different trips, whether it be hiking trips or camping trips, which are available to students. And it's just a really great way to connect with other students. Our sports teams are phenomenal. So 16 of our sports are in the NCAA in Division I. We have over 30 club sports, and our student section is called the Destruction, just because it's always so loud and it's just so energetic being there. And if anything, I'd rather be in the student section. And we have a ton of study abroad options for students. So I did French and I did a semester in France. I was able to stay with host parents and learn about the culture. Weber State actually helped me pay for it. So if that's kind of holding you back with doing study abroad, Weber State does offer tuition waivers so that you could do study abroad. We also have a ton of student resources for students, anything ranging within, so Wildcat Scholars is for any student who struggles in English or math. You just get extra support from your professors and you're put in a specialized class for those classes. And then we also have academic support. This is anything from tutoring to our writing center. So if you're submitting a paper, you can submit it to our writing center first, have them look over it, and then they'll just give you a whole bunch of feedback to make it better. And then any grammatical errors that you may have, they'll also help you correct them. We have 7 different colleges within Weber State. So anything ranging from engineering, science, health professions, business, education, arts and humanities, and behavioral, and our behavioral sciences. So this gives you a list of the different programs that we offer. We have over 225 programs. Within that, there's 100 bachelor's degrees that we offer, around 26 masters, and our newly PhD in nursing. So yeah, a ton of options for anything that you can think of within education and other areas. So we also have a couple of housing options for students. Wildcat Village is our dorm style. This one is on campus, so if you like to sleep in, it's a great option. We also have University Village. This is more apartment style. This one's half a block away from campus. There are shuttles that take you to and from, so it's super easy access. And the prices that you see on the screen are per year, so both fall and spring. This is our out-of-state tuition for both fall and spring. But with WUE, it does get cut down almost in half. Again, this is for fall and spring. So since you're part of California, you would qualify for WUE. It's super easy to apply for WUE. So there's 2 steps. You just submit your application, your admissions application. And second, you complete the specialized application, scholarship application. And I'll talk to you about it in a minute. And then that one is due December 1st. And then WUE is available for 8 semesters for both fall and spring. Summer semester, all of our students get in-state tuition, so you don't have to worry about WUE during the summer. And to keep receiving WUE, you do have to maintain a 2.0 GPA, and it does exclude our nursing and dental hygiene programs. But there are other options for students. So this is a 4-year academic scholarship that we offer to out-of-state freshmen. What you do is you match your GPA to your ACT or SAT score, whichever one you take. You plug it into the index, and then that's what you qualify for 4 years. And that is due December 1st. Our priority deadline is December 1st. So the scholarship application, or the specialized scholarship application that I was talking to you about, is right here. So you just go to weber.edu/scholarships. You click on step 4, fill out that scholarship application, submit it, and it usually takes around 20-ish minutes to get that done. It just goes through a series of questions. 10 of them are yes or no, and then the last 3 are short essays. This helps with WUE, and then it also unlocks other scholarships available to you within our campus. We also encourage students to fill out FAFSA. Even though you don't think that you will qualify for the Pell Grants, there are other really good perks that come with FAFSA. Our priority deadline for it is April 1st. And it's super easy to apply to Weber State. You go to weber.edu/apply. You fill out the application online. You submit the required documents. That's your transcript and test scores, and you pay the $30 fee. So we are open enrollment, 100% acceptance rate. And the only reason that we request the test scores is for scholarship reasons. We also encourage students to visit us. We have different options Monday through Friday. We also have a late evening on Wednesdays and some Saturday options as well. Also, please follow us on our social media. We have just really great content. It gives you a ton of information about campus and what's going on. And if you scan this QR code, you can get more information about Weber State. Sorry, that was my alarm telling me that I needed to stop. And lastly, this is my contact info. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Up next, we have Fort Lewis College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gianna Gomar, and I'm an admission counselor at Fort Lewis College. Thank you all for being here with us today. So we like to say that Fort Lewis College is powered by place. And the reason that we say that is because we really use our environment to support our students with their education. In case some of you are wondering, where is Fort Lewis College? We are in a town called Durango, Colorado, which is southwest Colorado, very close to the Four Corners area. You can see that on the map where that yellow star. It is a really beautiful place to live at, plenty of outdoor opportunities, and we're actually really close by Mesa Verde. It's a great place to live in because we're kind of in the mountains, but also right next to the desert. In regards to us as an institution, we are considered a smaller school. We have about 3,400 students on campus. And even though it is a smaller school, it's actually a really diverse campus. So we have students coming from 45 different states, and actually we have 57% of our students who are students of color. So it's a really great learning environment because you're not only learning from your professors, but also learning from each other. In regards to what you're going to find in your classrooms, our average class size is 21 students. And so what you see here in this picture is actually what it looks like in the real world. You will get to know your professor really well. They will know you by name. They will also know what you're good at, what you struggle with. And if you happen to need some additional support, they can be there to provide that as well. Another thing to keep in mind is that 100% of our classes are taught by faculty, so we don't have any graduate students teaching undergraduate classes. And in fact, 99% of our tenured faculty are in their highest possible degree. So that means that we have a lot of doctors, PhD level professors that really know what they're talking about and can support you in the journey with your academics. Here's a list of our areas of study. As you can see, we do have 55 different majors on campus, so plenty to choose from. Some of our bigger programs are business, engineering, education, and psychology, but any of those programs are really amazing, and what we really emphasize is experiential learning. So we really want for you to focus on learning by doing versus just learning by reading a book or listening to a lecture class. We want for you to get hands-on and have the opportunity to do things like internships, field study, study abroad, all of these components to really allow for you to have a very full experience. As an example, this picture here is from one of our engineering students in something that we call the Village Aid Project, and that is supporting communities have a more sustainable future. So they build solar panels in some of their communities to support them moving forward. Another example, or field studies, if you're studying geology as an example, you'd be learning about rock formations in real life. You wouldn't just be reading a book about it. And with study abroad, we do have partner schools or sister schools all around the world. And so if that's something that you'd like to do, we certainly encourage for our students to do so. We also have shorter trips. So if you wanted to go for a few weeks with your faculty member and also a group of Fort Lewis College students, you can do that. For example, they go study Greek philosophy in Greece, which obviously that's the best place to go if you want to study that. In regards to getting involved, we do have over 60 student clubs and organizations, everything from a social dance club to a gaming club to outdoor clubs, plenty to get involved in. As you can see here from this picture, this is from an event called Fiesta on the Mesa. It's an event put on by one of our diversity collaborative centers called El Centro de Muchos Colores. We also have the Native American Center, the Black Student Resource Center. So again, plenty of ways for you to get involved. And we are an NCAA Division II school. So that means we have varsity teams on campus and you can get scholarships for participating in those. Our application process is really simple to apply. You just fill out an application online through fortlewis.edu. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. I also have a fee waiver for you. So if you want to apply, you can use the fee waiver code, all caps, FLC apply. I'll put it in the chat afterwards. We are test score optional, but we do request that you submit your high school transcript. And just so you know, most of our students do have between a 3.0 to a 3.8 GPA. However, if you have a lower GPA than that, we still encourage for you to apply. We do have a lot of merit scholarships as well as a Western undergraduate exchange. So the way that this works, they're automatically awarded to you once you apply. If you qualify for a higher merit scholarship than the WUE, then we will honor that one. If you get more through the WUE than a merit scholarship, then we'll give you that one. That's kind of how it works for us. But so, as an out-of-state student, you can get anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 off your tuition. Alrighty, other ways that you can save with us, definitely encourage for all of you to fill out the FAFSA. We also have something called the Native American Tuition Waiver. If you're a student from a federally recognized tribe, you can attend tuition free. And we also have a lot of different types of scholarships, but first off is just applying. Here's a breakdown of our cost of attendance, but again, keep in mind that most of our students do get some financial assistance. In regards to us as a town, I mentioned that we are a small mountain town, but we're by no means a boring town. There's plenty going on all throughout the year. We have more restaurants per capita than San Francisco. We have a ton of outdoor activities that you can participate in. We actually have over 300 miles of hiking and biking trails from campus. And as a first year student, you do get a free season pass to Purgatory Mountain Resort, which is our home mountain that's about 30 minutes away from campus. If you're not into the outdoors, there's still a lot of things that you can get involved in. We have a thriving arts community, lots of concerts, events like that that are happening all throughout the year. but I always encourage for students to come visit because that is the best way to really get to experience campus and see what it's like. We do have campus tours, open houses, all kinds of things, so definitely check us out. And if you have any questions, here's my contact information. But thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for your presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if you have questions, definitely don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A down below. Up next, we have Western Colorado University.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that is joining us in person and to everyone watching the recording. Welcome. My name is Lindsay, and I'm a Regional Director of Recruitment for Western Colorado University in Gunnison, Colorado. What you're seeing on your screen here is a picture of campus. All the buildings with red roofs are campus, so it's really beautiful year-round. We definitely get quite a bit of snow in the winter, so it's not always this green, but it's certainly beautiful year-round. We're about 3.5, 4 hours from Denver. I would say most of our out-of-state students do fly into Denver International Airport, but if you'd like to fly into an airport that's a little bit closer, we do have an airport in Gunnison, as well as some other regional airports that you can choose. One of my favorite things about being a student at Western is that our backyard is nature's best classroom. So like a lot of other institutions in the state of Colorado, Western is going to really provide you with that experiential, hands-on, real-world learning. And specifically, quite a few of our academic programs that are popular on campus are those STEM focused. So biology, recreation, outdoor education, environment and sustainability, exercise and sports science, mechanical engineering are very popular majors at Western. And I think that has to do with the fact that we're surrounded by over 750 miles of single track trails. We're surrounded by millions of acres of BLM land, national forest land, all of this public land that students have access to either for research or for recreational purposes. Our average class size is 16 students at Western, but the biggest class that you'll ever have on campus will only hold about 50, so you'll never sit in a lecture hall with hundreds of other students. Again, like a lot of my other colleagues have said tonight, your professors are going to know who you are, and I think that's a really important part of choosing an institution is finding those faculty members that will be accessible. Total enrollment at Western is right around 3,000 students, so our student to faculty ratio is 17:1. As far as affordability goes, Western is relatively affordable. We have our out-of-state tuition priced at $18,600 per year. And you can compare that to the national average of right around $22,587 per year. And it's pretty affordable in that sense. But that being said, too, 80% of students at Western receive financial aid in the form of grants or scholarships. And 100% of our students at Western do receive scholarships that are merit-based, which is a really great opportunity. So as far as student success services that we offer, we do have an academic resource center that houses our disability services, career services, and academic advising. I did want to touch a little bit about our career services office today, as that is kind of the focus of this session, is just the career opportunities that you can find from college. For our career services office specifically, if you're not totally sure what you want to major in, we actually have career assessments that are offered to students for free that you can take at any point to decide, is this major actually what I want to do? What careers could I come up with from this specific major? Does that actually sound interesting to me, or should I try something different? So you don't actually have to declare a major until the end of your sophomore year, and our career services and academic advisors are a huge part of kind of being successful in choosing a major that is going to set you up for long-term success. We do also have a writing center and a math tutoring center. So if you ever need any additional support in those areas, current students will be able to be a peer resource for you in that sense. We also have an EPIC mentorship program, and those are current students. Our EPIC mentors are current students who are sophomores through seniors, so they've experienced quite a bit on campus, and they are there to ensure that every first-year student and transfer student has a very smooth transition to school and that they feel really welcomed on campus throughout their first year. We do also have counseling services at Western, where every single student receives free mental health counseling, And we do have a multicultural center as well that houses 5 different multicultural clubs. And anyone and everyone is certainly welcome and encouraged to participate in those club meetings and events that they host as well. If you're interested in visiting campus, we would absolutely love to have you. We are open for in-person campus tours as well as virtual tours. So if you can't make it to campus in person, that's also totally understandable, and we can accommodate you with virtual tours as well. We do also have preview days available, which is more of a full day experience. So if you want to really get a good sense of what it's like to be a student at Western, meet current students, meet faculty members, preview days is the way to go. And if you sign up for a preview day, Western will pay for 1 night of a hotel for you and your family to stay in Gunnison. So we would absolutely love to have you if you're able to make it in person. You can find any of those options at western.edu/visit. And lastly, if we have any students in the room that are seniors and are interested in applying, you can apply through the Western application at western.edu/apply or through the common application, whichever is easiest for you. We do operate off of rolling admissions, which means that we do not have an application deadline, so you can apply at any time before next August when school starts. We are test optional, and at Western, that truly means test optional for every process. So we do not require test scores for admissions or for scholarships or for class placement. So that's totally an option for you there. And if you want to apply for free, you can use our code GOWESTERN2022. And lastly, here is my contact information. I will be sure to drop that in the chat as well. Thank you all so much for your time today, and go Mountaineers.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Up next, we have University of Utah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon. I'm the Southern California rep for the University of Utah. I'm based here in Southern California, so I'm excited to chat with you all. So this is our lovely campus. We are located in downtown Salt Lake City, just 2 miles off of the main sort of strip of downtown. So our kind of front yard faces downtown, and you can see there our backyard faces the lovely Wasatch Mountain Range. What I love about the environment around campus is that it is incredibly active. We really are encouraging students to really get involved and sort of stretch all their expectations throughout the entire sort of state of Utah. So as you can see some of our downtown pictures there, so amazing shopping, eating, internships, sporting events, concerts, but yet we are only about 30 minutes away from the most amazing snow in the world. So Park City is about 30 minutes away, and Deer Valley. So you're going to hit about 11 world-class ski resorts if you just drive an hour from our campus. So ultimately, we are very much connected to the cityscape, city opportunities, as well as the amazing natural landscape that the state of Utah is most known for. But ultimately, when you get to campus, academically speaking, we want you to embrace every academic exploration you could possibly consider. With our student body being so large, we really have an amazing priority to keep the academic piece as intimate and as personal as possible. So when you see the undergraduate student population there of 24,000, that really accounts for about 75% of all the students that we have at the U. So 3 out of 4 students on our campus are 18 to 22 years old, all searching for bachelor's degrees. And we ultimately feel and look a lot younger, and the resources are sort of poured into that first year experience to make sure our students come back. And we actually have a first to second year retention rate of about 92%. So about 9 out of 10 freshmen come back for their sophomore year, which is pretty incredible for a school our size. But ultimately, you see what you get in the classroom. Again, that intimacy, about 70% of our classrooms have 30 students or less in them. So ultimately, there is a way for you to get that attention from your professors, from your peers, work in more collaborative sort of environments, academically speaking, than you would maybe find at other large public flagship universities. So, and when you look down at the bottom right of the number of programs that we have, over 150 majors and programs to choose from, you ultimately have so much flexibility. When you apply to the University of Utah, you're not applying as this major versus that major. You're just applying to get in to the university. Once you're in, you basically get tracked on any particular program that your heart sets out for straight away, or again, have about until the middle of your sophomore year to really figure out what that that major or majors are going to be. So ultimately, we want to encourage flexibility in terms of the intellectual pursuits that you'll set out on in your first year. Again, research is the name of the game. We're the only medical school in the entire state. We have a law school at the U. We are the only Research 1 level university in the state, and we are a proud member of the AAU, which we're one of 66 schools in the entire country, big, small, public, or private, that can say that we're a member of the AAU. So the research prestige, resources, funding is phenomenal to support our academic programs across the board. When you actually show up to campus, you're going to find that about 40% of our students are students from outside of Utah. So we're incredibly geographically diverse. So that creates more of that 7-day-a-week college buzz. We've built all new residential halls since or after 2002 because we were home to the Olympic Village when the 2002 Winter Olympics were hosted in Salt Lake City. So all of our residential halls are really young or feel really fresh and new compared to our school being established in 1850, actually a few years earlier than the actual state of Utah was declared an actual state. So again, amazing facilities. We have over 600 clubs and organizations to choose from. So we're really pressing upon our first year students to really stay on campus, get involved pretty much from the get-go. This is just a quick example of one of our residential halls. This very much collaborative space that exists throughout the much of campus, but this is a really good example where Lassonde Studios, again, just a residential hall, but on the first floor of Lassonde, there's a 20,000 square foot maker space, as you kind of see right there. There's a business office, empty offices to start your own business out of. There's a woodworking shop, a metalworking shop, a room full of 3D printers, a tinkering room, prototyping room. There's opportunities to really, again, listen to other amazing ideas that are happening from that students are bringing to the table, not just from class, but from the different social circles, and really being a part of this very entrepreneurial, hands-on community that exists at the U. Again, big piece of our campus life is that we're part of the Pac-12. Division I athletic sports are happening all year round. I love this picture because, yes, it shows off our amazing Rice Cycle Stadium with a capacity of around 50,000 people. But I also love this picture because under the word Pacific, you can kind of see how close we are to downtown Salt Lake City, the capital. So about 2 miles, like I said earlier. And to round out the last couple of things here, we are on the common application. We want seniors to apply to us by December 1st, because not only will it be in the early action 1 phase, which they will then hear about an admission decision by January 15th of next year, but they also will be considered for merit scholarships, which is why we're here tonight. WUE is an amazing program that we have at the U. If you have a 3.0 unweighted GPA and you've applied by December 1st, if you are admitted to the university, you will get WUE. And by the way, really quickly going back, we are again test optional for you seniors. So we do not necessarily need to have a test score on file. We just need the common application and a high school transcript, and you're done with us in terms of being complete. And WUE is so great because it takes your tuition from about $31,000 out of state to about $13,000 every year. So about $18,000 savings just having a 3.0 coming from California and being admitted and applying, of course, by December 1. We really encourage you to visit. Our campus is open three tours a day. And here's my contact information for your pleasure. And hopefully we can stay connected in the next months and maybe years to come. So thank you so much. I'm going to pass it back to Clarissa, and we'll head it over to Naomi for the last, Noel for the last presentation of the night.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As my colleague mentioned, up next is Colorado State University-Pueblo.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. My name is Noelle Clark, and I am the Regional Admissions Counselor for Colorado State University-Pueblo. I'm based just in San Diego, work with all students in California, and I'm a proud CSU Pueblo alum as well. So I always love coming and talking to you guys about my university, about my hometown, and all the great options that we have for you guys as students, especially coming from California. So first of all, this shows where we're located in Pueblo in Southern Colorado. So we're about an hour and 45 minutes south of Denver, 45 minutes south of Colorado Springs, and about 45 minutes away from the mountains in 3 different directions. So like all of my wonderful Colorado colleagues have mentioned, all those great outdoor activities that Colorado is known for is just right in our own backyard, and lots of students love to take advantage of that with us. Pueblo itself is in the high desert of Colorado, so about 4,500 feet above sea level and in the desert. So we're very dry, very arid, and we actually only get about 25 inches of snow a year, which is not a lot compared to some of the other areas in Colorado. So if you want to experience all 4 seasons, but are a little scared of the snow, we're a great place to come and test it out. You can see where our airports are located, so it's pretty easy to get to us in Pueblo, regardless of where you are. We're a small public university with just about 4,000 students total. So that means your average class size is only about 16 students. So really nice and small. My entire 4 years as a student, I only had one class that had more than 30 students in it. That class had 65 students in it, and the professors still knew every single one of us by name. So you really are an individual on our campus. Your professors get to know you, your strengths, your weaknesses, and they're there to help make sure you're successful as a student throughout your career and then moving forward as well. We have a very diverse student body in general as well, with 40% of our students being the first in their family to go to college, 50% of our students being students of color, and we have students coming from 48 different states and 28 different countries currently on our campus. And we're also a very military friendly institution as well. So if you or your family falls into a military family or community, we have a lot of great resources for you guys to help with some of the transitions to college. We are a comprehensive university, so that means through our 80 different areas of study, they're pretty across the board with what we offer, from the sciences to humanities, business to athletic training and engineering, and a little bit of everything in between. None of our programs are impacted, so regardless of what you choose to study, you'll be in and out within 4 years. And none of our programs, nursing is our only program that requires an additional application process. So aside from nursing, you're automatically accepted into those programs when you're accepted to CSU Pueblo. I have some of our most popular programs listed right here, with some of the most well-known ones being our nursing, health sciences, business, biology, and psychology. But regardless of what program you choose to study at CSU Pueblo, you're going to graduate not just having sat in the classroom for 4 years, but having that real world practical experience as well, which we know is so valuable to your education. So that can start as early as your freshman year. If you're a teaching education student, you're in the classroom shadowing other teachers from the very beginning. Maybe you are a biology student, you can start doing research with professors as early as freshman year. So we have students who are published before the time they even graduate, doing research with their professors. We also have a lot of great internship opportunities set up, partnerships with local small businesses, and internships throughout across the country for students to get that hands-on practical experience. We're Division II for all of our athletics with 21 different teams, 75 plus different clubs and organizations. So you'll never be bored on our campus at CSU Pueblo, and that's the way we want it. You'll find the average Thunderwolf is pretty involved within our campus community. So like the rest of my colleagues here tonight, we are a WUE school, and our WUE is completely automatic. So as long as you are a resident of California and you're accepted to CSU Pueblo, you're automatically going to come in at that WUE tuition rate. That puts us pretty on par with the cost of a Cal State if you live on campus as a California resident, with our total cost per year. And then stackable on top of that include our merit scholarships. So you can get WUE and merit scholarships, which are based on your GPA, test scores, or class rank of your graduating high school class. You only have to meet one of those 3 requirements in order to qualify. Every year as an out-of-state student, you get an automatic $2,000 a year housing scholarship. And if you're a first generation student, meaning neither parent has a bachelor's degree and you have a 3.0 GPA, that's a $1,000 a year scholarship. So lots of additional funding to really make it affordable for you guys coming from California to be with us at CSU Pueblo. Our application is rolling, so it is open now for seniors. You can apply all the way up until next August. Now is the best time to apply though, because we do have priority deadlines and final deadlines of our merit scholarships by March 1. It's about 1 week for an admissions decision from the time you apply and we receive your transcripts. We are test optional this year for our seniors, so no essays, no letters of recommendation, no personal statement, no test scores. It takes you about 10 minutes to fill out our application, really quick and easy. If you have a 3.0 this year, you'll be automatically accepted to the university. If you have below a 3.0, you can still be admittable. We just might ask for some additional information from you. Here on this last slide, I have my contact information. So if you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them and help you learn more about CSU Pueblo and how we might be a great fit for you. You'll also see right here our fee waiver code, so you can also apply for free. But thank you so much for your time, and I'll hand it back over to Clarissa.
We have come to the end of our programming, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can provide to us. This is also just one of many sessions happening. There's an additional day tomorrow, so we encourage you to go back out to the schedule to see what also is available. And lastly, I did mention earlier that this session was recorded and will be available as well as all the other sessions from today at strivescan.com/COSI. Again, thank you all for joining us and have a great evening.